did Passover wines, and we made a harosis, which is used on matzah during the Passover season. Today we're going to do a pasta primavera for Easter that's vegan and extraordinarily healthy. You're not going to believe what we're going to do. We're going to start our show right now. Don't go away. Mark Allen Cooks is on the air. And welcome to Mark Allen Cooks. I am Mark Allen. I'm hoping that you're having a great springtime. I just have to make one comment. Normally, in March, at this time of year, we don't, in Southern California, have a lot of rain. We don't have a lot of cold. People are in shorts and t-shirts, running around in flip-flops or barefoot. I'm bundled up. It's cold. Now, it's a beautiful sunny day. And in a couple of days, we are pre-recording this show. In a couple of days, it's going to rain some more. And we are desperate for water. But I don't like the rain. I'm a big baby. All right, let's go to Canada. And we're going to go to way far away Canada. We'll find out about that in just a second as we bring in our guest, Katja Hansen. Katja, welcome to Mark Allen Cooks.
Thank you, Mark. It's so great to be with you.
And I have to tell you that Katja is an environmental scientist or environmental engineer. So everything that we're doing today is organic. And that's because, one, Katja requested that. And two, we try here on the show to do as much organic as we can. How did you get into environmental science?
Well, that's, we could do a whole show just about that. But the connection of us as people to our environment can be seen from two different ways. And the traditional approach to environmental perspective is that humans are bad for the environment, are bad for the planet, and need to do less bad. I actually come from a perspective where we say we're an integral part of our environment and everything we do should have a positive footprint. So making things better is definitely the approach that I choose in all the work that I do.
Gotcha. Well, we're kind of one of the youngest species on the planet, right? I mean, every
Exactly.
yeah. So we have to take care of Mother Earth, and we try to do that here at Mark Allen Cooks and on our sister program, Late Night Health. All right, let's start. We're going to make pasta primavera. I've already got back here boiling water for the pasta, and we'll turn that on in a few moments. Um, we have a couple of ingredients that I've never cooked with, and I want you to. Okay, I've made a lot of pestos before, but pesto is usually basil, olive oil, um, garlic, and cheese, Parmesan. We're making it with carrot tops. How did you discover that?
Well, basically, pesto is just the Italian version of a sauce where you mince together all kinds of ingredients. And so, if you have only yet made one kind of pasta, the pasta genovese, so far, you actually have a whole world to explore because pasta or pesto really can take many different ingredients. And when we look, especially when we buy organic food, it is so nice to use the whole food and not to discard. So when I buy organic veggies, I never peel them, I just scrub them because the best ingredients, the best nutrients are in the peel. And so you don't want to shave that off. And a
I have
lot of the
to, I have
greens
to tell
are
you, I do
edible.
that. I do that with my carrots. I scrub them this morning and cut them into pieces. I like the peel, right? So we do
Very
that.
good.
We're gonna
Absolute.
be,
Absolutely. Yes.
One, I forgot to ask, where are you? I believe I mean, I know you're 4 hours ahead of Southern California.
That's right. And I'm not in the south either.
No.
I'm probably as south as it can be in Canada. I'm in Nova Scotia, just south of Halifax on the beautiful South Shore. And it's a wonderful sunny day here as well. But there's certainly still a chill in the air, and spring is probably still several weeks away.
What is the temperature? Do you know?
I haven't checked because I've been on phone calls all morning, but it's probably around 6 or 7 degrees at best.
Oh, that's it's 65 here right now. And then
Oh,
last but
sorry,
not
yes.
least, I know that you are a vegan, um, but you have a lobster magnet on your refrigerator behind you. And Nova Scotia is known for their great lobsters.
They are, and this is actually from the British Virgin Islands, so it's not
Oh,
a Nova Scotia lobster. And I, I only turned towards wholly plant-based food some 7 years ago. So I have experienced lobster,
well, I'll tell
but
you what. What we can do is I'll send you lemons and you send me lobsters.
okay, you'll have to send me a lot of lemons for one lobster, that's for
I
sure.
know. All right. We're going to start cooking right now. I'm going to move this over here. And what I'm going to do is we're using a lemon. This is a Meyer lemon. Um, and we're going to make the pesto sauce first. In this Meyer lemon, I've removed some of the peel. Okay. And we're saving that. We're going to use that. I'm going to cut this in half. And besides being exceedingly juicy, my lemons are seedy. And I'm going to juice it right now. This is just the greatest little juicer for $10. Boy. And I got every little drop of that in there. Okay.
Excellent. Mark, maybe we should say for those who don't speak that much Italian that
Right.
primavera is actually spring. And the reason we picked this recipe is it's so perfect for Easter because it has the carrots, which we associate with Easter, the greens, and the name. So
Right.
it's really a pasta with spring vegetables.
Got it. Well, whoa, I had a lemon peel, a lemon seed, uh, fly away from me. All right, so what we're gonna end up doing is sautéing, and I'm gonna use olive oil, but you prefer to use a soy product instead.
No, actually,
No?
I just use either plain water or broth, or you could use white wine. I just try to have a low inflammation diet to actually avoid the use of extracted oils as much as possible.
I
Because even though we know olive oil is part of the Mediterranean diet, um, the Mediterranean diet is healthy despite the use of olive oil. So I try to reduce this as much as possible.
Carol, do you want to open a white wine instead of the olive oil? Or, huh? We have a white Chardonnay, and we can do
Perfect.
that. So
Nice.
we'll steam them in that. Yeah, that's perfect. We'll do that in just a couple of moments. Let's open the wine, and I think we need to start. Um, um, whoops. We'll need to start uh, the process. Ooh, Carol, this is really pretty. I don't know if you can get this on this wine. This is called Melt. It's from Lodi, California, and there's a very pretty stamp on the cork. And we save our corks and recycle them. How about that?
Very good. Yes,
Okay.
I do that too.
All right. I have the best kitchen helper in the world who keeps me on track and keeps me clean and the kitchen clean. All right, here we go. Ta-da!
There we go. Ta-da.
Ta-da!
Nice.
Okay, and this is 2020 from Lodi, California. It's a melt Chardonnay.
And it's nice and dry?
I don't know. This was a gift, and we're going to be trying it. I'm going to get a glass. You know, you have a beer. I'll have the wine. Can you get the glass? All right. And in the meantime, I'm going to pour some wine in here so that we can get our. Oh, they're up here. Yeah, you're right. I'll just use this, huh? Okay. You have some beer, Katya.
No, I have some water kefir. So this is actually fermented water, if you want to put it that way. There's no alcohol in there.
Ah,
But it's a probiotic and it's very good for your gut health. And because our immune system resides mostly in our gut, it's actually very advantageous to do as much as we can to support our gut flora. And that might sound a bit yicky, but it's actually very tasty.
well, cheers to you.
Cheers. Mine is also on the dry side.
This is very dry. Carol, tell me what you think of the nose. It's very dry. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to put this over here, and as I need it during our cooking. All right, what we're going to do now is let's start steaming and simmering the vegetables, right? Then we'll make the pesto.
Well, it
Or
depends on how soft you like your veggies. I like my veggies crunchy. So basically, what we could do is do the pesto
all
and
right.
then just do a quick saute on the veggies. But maybe you tell us what kind of veggies you have, because
We,
again, it's really
I,
versatile.
well, I've got broccoli. We have yellow and red pepper, and Carol's got this all set up for us. We have broccoli, and we have carrots, and we have uh, snap peas. Mm.
Perfect. Perfect. That's really lovely. But you know, if any of your viewers don't like or feel particular about one or the other, they can just exchange it for their favorite veggies. It works really nicely with green asparagus and spinach. So you can really change out whatever vegetables you
Whatever.
favor.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get the wine cooking a little bit while we
Okay.
make the pesto. So we have over here. Oops. You know what makes the what ma- what makes um, uh, the Cuisinart work better? It's plugging it in.
Yes, that's a good start.
It's
Absolutely. And
work.
you know that the traditional way of doing pesto is to actually do it with a mortar and pestle.
Yes.
So that'd be a lot of workout. So we decided to do the kitchen
Yes.
processor way.
All right. All right. Here we go. We're gonna open up our. You tell me the order of to put things in.
Yes. So you put in the cashew nuts, please, and you can also already add the lemon rind
And
and
add the. I'm sorry.
and the garlic. And again, people can choose how much. I like a lot of garlic, so
I'm a. We're
whatever
a
you
garlic.
have there.
Yeah, I love garlic. So I've got garlic
Good.
in there.
Okay.
Um,
Give it a spin.
all right. right, we got that.
Okay. So it should have the consistency of uh, chopped really finely already. So not
That's
as fine as a
it does.
meal, but
It does.
okay, perfect. And then we'll add a couple of handful of the carrot greens. And if you're
Okay.
using the carrot greens, I mean, you and I already discussed, you want that from organic or homegrown, obviously, organic carrots.
All right. There's
And then
got
you
it.
can also put a little bit of lemon juice into that already. And then we'll just see it obviously is supposed to have a pasty consistency at some point. So we could also add a little bit of the white wine instead of the lemon juice to make it not quite as tart. And then to have the cheesy flavor, as you said, you put cheese into your normal pesto. We use nutritional yeast,
Right.
and
And
you can put
I'm
that
going to
in
come.
as well.
I have never heard of this before until you. And this is Bragg's nutritional yeast. Um, Patricia Bragg has been on our show, Late Night Health, and other programs for
Oh
30
wow!
years. And I know that the company's been sold, but we bought this. It's nutritional yeast, and this is not an active yeast,
That's correct.
right?
Exactly. So it won't make you bloat, or you don't use it to bake bread or any pastry. It's really because it has a very nice malty, cheesy flavor. It's used quite a bit in plant-based cooking.
Gotcha. All right. So how much should I put in here?
Well, give it, do you want to use tablespoons? I'd start with like 4 or 5 tablespoons.
Okay. I'm using a teaspoon. And
Oh, teaspoon.
normally,
Well,
normally
then,
I'm just going to eyeball this. We'll just
yeah, exactly.
right. Are we
You
going to put
can't
any
really
out? And I
overdo
do
it.
have some. Whoa. All right. Um, lemon peel,
The lemon rind, yeah, the lemon
lemon
peel,
rind. Okay. And
the
then
lemon juice, a bit of lemon juice. Maybe not. I didn't see exactly how much it was, but maybe 1 to 1.5 tablespoons to start with, and then we might also add a little bit of white wine or water or veggie broth, whatever you have at hand
I
to
I
thin it
I
out.
love olive oil. Can we put that in?
Okay. Yes, you can.
Just a little
Absolutely.
bit.
But you don't have to because there's a lot of fat in the cashew nuts already. So, but thin it out with the olive oil. I'll definitely let you use some olive
Okay.
oil.
I just put a little bit in. I like the
Okay.
flavor of olive oil. What else
Yes.
goes in here? I think that's it.
Well, we
No.
will also add a little bit of salt and pepper, but
Okay.
so you can start with, your amount that you think is appropriate for the quantity that you have in the mixer, and then we taste it after we have
All right.
processed it.
I'm going to grind some pepper in. We don't use a lot of salt,
Very good. And
but we
that's
use a lot
that's
of
why
pepper.
the lemon juice helps, because frequently you can just add lemon juice to dishes rather than salt to give it that flavor profile that you are looking for with salt.
All right, I'm going to turn this on. And ooh. Now, should it be thick?
Yes, it should really have a nice sort of pasty consistency, and all the ingredients should have blended nicely.
I'm going to bring this over and show you
Oh, good.
what it
I'll
looks
have to look
like.
down. Yeah, I
Oh,
think we might want it. Oh, there we go. No, we want it a bit more pasty. So just put in a bit more liquid and process it a bit longer.
okay. All right. I'll use the white wine. Whoops. And where did I leave the wine? I left the wine here and a splash.
Yeah, and a bit more olive oil if you feel like it. So
I do like olive oil.
I know,
I,
so that's good.
um, I haven't met an olive either that I didn't like.
Well, that again, that is actually within my spectrum a lot more than the olive oil, right? Because if
Got
you're
it.
looking at whole food, the olive oil is just one part of the olive, whereas if you eat the whole olive, you get everything, including the fiber.
Got it. All right. I'm going to open this up and we're going to scrape this around just a little bit. Oh, it smells great.
Well, give it a little taste. It should be quite strong because we're going to dilute it a little bit with the pasta water. So you
This
don't
is
want it
fabulous.
weak
Oh boy.
tasting.
I almost added more garlic. This will keep vampires away.
Nice.
Mm.
Well, you won't
Oh,
put the whole bunch in there. I mean, you'll just use some tablespoons of it and then keep the rest for a rainy day.
okay. So we've got that done. What's next?
Well, next now that's it's this balance of getting the pasta ready, but I think you have some fast cooking pasta and
Right. The pasta will
getting
take about
the
2 minutes to do.
okay. So then we should start with sautéing the hardest veggies first. So we start with those.
All right.
So we do the carrots. And we ideally, do you have some more garlic still to put in the pan?
Um, yes, we could do that. Carol, we have
Yep.
garlic. We have a crushed garlic in the refrigerator, so we use that.
That would be beautiful. So we could saute a little bit of the garlic. And again, we have lots of garlic already in the pesto, so
Yes.
it's not vital. And then you saute the carrots for about a minute. And then you start adding the other veggies. And like I say, I like them fairly crunchy, but people can do it to taste.
We like it al dente, maybe not as crunchy. I mean, crunchy, but yes, I will not. I'm waiting for this to get just a, no, use maybe a half a teaspoon. That should do it.
That sounds about good. Yeah.
Okay. So, Katya, so far, are we having a good time?
Yes, I am.
All right, good.
Absolutely.
When you have a moment, we can bring up Katya's uh, lower third. Um, and I want to talk about the website just briefly, if we can. Can you
Yes.
hand me a spoon or a, please? Thank you. And I'm going to add the carrots in just a second. Thank you. Okay. And I'm going to add the carrots. Stir those around. And we'll let those go. And while the carrots are starting to cook, let's talk about calcify.com. Tell me about that.
Calcify.com is the website where viewers can learn about the connection between health and longevity. While on this cooking show, we talk about things like gut health and eating healthy foods, the background is that a lot of that triggers, for example, heart disease. So when we eat food it influences, and I mentioned that when I talked about the water kefir, it influences our gut and our gut biome, but it also influences our liver. And those are all vital organs that you want to keep healthy while
Right.
still enjoying food. That's the important thing. So I'm not talking about all science, but there's a lot that is in our food as well. Heavy metals, for example, if the food is grown in the wrong environment. And over time, that accumulates in the body. And that is one of many different factors that we call the hidden stress. And on the website, we talk about a book that my husband has been working on for 5 years, and it's actually called Discovering the Nature of Longevity. So it addresses how these hidden stresses attack our well being, our heart, and our body, and what is being done today to restore that. And food is one of the things which is what we're talking about today. But the website gives a lot more detail on some of the other emerging discoveries and today's treatment possibilities for anyone who's interested or already has heart disease.
I'm really curious about one thing, and that is a lot of times, two things. A lot of vegans, people who are on a plant based diet, seem to be heavy. They don't look healthy. You look
Thank you.
extraordinarily healthy.
Thank
Right.
you. That's such a good one. So that's really all in the words, and you've used it interchangeably: vegan and whole food plant-based diet.
Right.
For me, there's a huge difference
Ah.
because Oreo cookies and French fries with ketchup are vegan. There's no animal fat involved unless it's deep fried in some, beef rendering or something like that. But
I have
principally,
seen deep fried Oreos, by the way. Icky. I don't. I'm not a big fried food person. Yeah, I know.
ooh, ooh.
County
But
fairs and food.
anyway, so
Yeah.
the point is there's lots of foods that are vegan, i.e., don't contain any products from animals or produced by animals, but they're still not necessarily healthy. And
Gotcha.
we see that in the emerging market of more and more processed and prepared plant-based choices out there, the vegan choices like the vegan meats and so on, they're not necessarily healthy. And also, we had that discussion already. Oils are plant-based, olive oil, canola, whatever oil. Well, it has a lot of calories. So that's why a lot of people who might claim they're vegans might still not necessarily feel or look healthy.
I'm adding the broccoli next,
Perfect. And
and I
probably also the peppers. And then just hold back the sugar snaps because they really only need like half a minute to a minute max.
got it. I'm going to get every last drop. I may have to add a little bit more wine here.
Yep. Or a little bit of water, depends
Yeah,
on
just a little
what you
bit
want to
because
do.
it's.
And a little bit of salt and pepper you can put in now as well.
And again, we don't cook with a lot of salt. Neither one of us grew up that way.
That's
My
good.
mother never
That's
added
good.
salt to anything.
Yeah. We do it similarly, but there is sort of a transition for most people in the beginning when I serve people plant-based food with no salt. It takes some adjusting, but that's only because most people don't balance the flavors well enough. And like I've said earlier, lemon juice is really a good alternative to using a lot of salt.
I'm going to turn
Or
the water back on the pasta,
perfect.
and
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 then
our
we should get the pasta ready. And if the veggies are to your liking of al dente, for me on the crispier side, for you maybe a little bit more on the done side
yeah,
of al dente, then just pull them off the burner and we'll have it sit there. And then
I'm gonna
we're
let it.
ready to assemble the
The
dish.
broccoli hasn't. The broccoli has not quite cooked yet.
Okay, do you have a top for the pan?
Do I have? I'm sorry. Yes.
A lid, sorry.
Is it down here? Oh, got it. Okay. Yes. Perfect.
Oh, perfect. Right.
All right.
Okay. That
That'll
speeds it
help.
up. And then just turn down
The heat a little bit.
yeah.
There we go. Okay. Now we have the pesto. We have the veggies. We've got the water going. I'm gonna look and see where we are with that. It'll boil in a second. The pasta that we're using is called ragna. Rana is an Italian pasta. It's GMO. I believe it's actually made in the U.S. Huh? It's non-GMO. Non-GMO.
Non-GMO. I
So
was
yeah,
just gonna say
non-GMO.
thank you, Carol.
Yes, Carol got it. Thank you. I have to tell you, I have been to. I've speak. The Natural Products Association years ago had a whole day where we went into Congress and talked about GMOs, and we did not say they were good or bad. What we just said was that the American people, and I would think that the Canadian people and people around the world would like to know if their foodstuffs are genetically modified or not. I just saw a package of Cheerios, and they don't say they're genetically modified. They say they contain some genetically modified foods. Terrible.
Oh
General
no.
Mills, shame on you. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Cheerios.
no, you definitely want to give people a choice at least, and
Yes.
that's the knowledge, and that's basically what we also say in the book. We're not making any recommendations. We're just thinking that there's a lot of information that doesn't seem to be available to the broader group.
Okay. I'm going to turn that off. I think that'll be perfect. Now, I have to be honest, okay? Broccoli is my least favorite vegetable. Um, I don't know why. Carol loves it. Carol loves it. She gets all, and I know how good it is, and I will eat it. I'm going to put in the snap peas right now.
Yeah.
I like them. Oh,
Yeah, you can eat them raw, which is
yes.
why I add them last, and you can probably turn off the heat totally now. And
Right?
then when you drain the pasta, Mark, just
Yeah.
reserve a little bit of the cooking water, like about a cupful, because we'll use that to both warm and thin the pesto. So what you will need is a bowl, and in that bowl you could put some tablespoons full of the pesto,
Okay.
and then you'll
Medium.
thin that with some of the pasta cooking water.
Got it. Oh, that's a great idea. No, that's too small. I think we need a bigger one.
Or you do it all in a serving, like I like the pasta served in a big bowl that I then put in, or if you arrange plates, obviously, then it's
We
different.
have a what we well, we could do it that way because here's our serving bowl. It's white, and what we're going to do with that is we'll put in the pasta, put in the layer in the vegetables, and then on top of that we'll have the pesto. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure that we're boiling, and we're not quite there.
That's good. I mean, if you turn the veggies off, then they should be okay.
Right.
And also, I use the pesto sauce in two ways. I usually put a little, like when you drain the pasta and you put it back in the pot, I add some of the sauce and I toss it already so that the pasta is coated with the pesto.
Oh, what a good
Then you
idea.
put it in the bowl, and
Okay.
then you top it with the veggies, and then you can add some more sauce.
Okay. All right. Yes, I will. I'm not exactly sure how we'll do that yet, but we'll try. Do you think that's okay? The water is not quite boiling. We had boiled it before the show started, and it cooled down. Perfect. That's what we'll do. Carol solved the problem. All right. Uh, just want you to know that in the next couple of weeks, we have some really exciting guests um, coming up, cooking from around the world, just like we have Katya. And we encourage you to make comments about the show. We really love to hear from you. And you can do that by writing me at markallencooks@gmail.com. Or if you're watching it on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, you can leave comments for us right there. All right. I think the water is fine. I'm going to take that off, and it is boiling. I'm going to dump in our pasta.
Lovely.
And I'm going to stir it around. Now we're going to be really careful, because what I don't want to do is have that boil over, because then I'll be spending the afternoon cleaning the stove, and we don't want to do that. All right.
And maybe one word, I don't know whether you mentioned that about the pasta. Most Italian pasta is actually egg free, unless it just says, egg pasta or egg noodles. But in a lot of the other brands, you might want to look whether they're, if you want to go plant-based, obviously you wouldn't want pasta with eggs.
Okay, we're going to uncover that. This pasta does have egg in it, but they are organic eggs. And you can see from this that they have a slight yellow look, signifying the egg in there. Okay.
But there's plenty of choices available, Mark. So that's just for the viewers who are looking for that really traditional pasta in Italy. It doesn't really have eggs in it. So there's lots of choices also without eggs.
It's and they use semolina wheat.
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your take on? I'm going to stir this just really quickly, once, twice. We're almost done.
Woohoo!
I know. I can't wait. I cannot.
I'm hungry. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always hungry. That's my problem. What's your take briefly on gluten? Because this is not a gluten-free pasta.
Well, gluten is one of those things where you just need to accept that some people are having certain intolerances.
Mm-hmm.
But again, so plant-based and gluten-free is not necessarily the same thing. So there's lots of gluten, and the point is that in a lot of our food stuff, the processed food stuff, the gluten has been extracted and is overrepresented in a lot of foods. Whereas if we have the whole food, a little bit of gluten in wheat doesn't harm most people. It just, when you eat this awful white bread, that of course, and you eat it all the time, your body and especially your gut is lacking the fiber that it really needs to be healthy. And so whole wheat contains gluten, but that's perfectly healthy for most people. And so not everyone who has an upset gastrointestinal tract has necessarily a gluten intolerance.
All right, what I'm going to do now is our pasta is ready. I'm going to drain it. I'll be off camera for just a second.
And keep some.
I've taken about just under a cup.
Good. Perfect.
Oh, I've got a little bit more. I'm back. There. I did it. Thank you. Now you said to put the pasta back in the pot,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. And then just add, you know, a good amount of the sauce so that you can toss the pasta in there. Depending on how thin your pesto is, you can also add a bit more of the cooking water just so that it's nice and sloppy.
Got it. I wonder if I'm gonna put the, here's our pesto. It's quite thick.
Okay, then thin it out before because otherwise it will sort of bunch up with the
Right.
pasta.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna put it in this bowl here, like that.
Yum.
And then we'll take the hot
Yes.
and mix it around. We can do it. This is the pesto dance.
Yes, very nice. I'd like to do the pesto taste, but
Oh,
unfortunately, technology isn't good enough yet.
no. We're trying to develop smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
I'm going to add just a little bit more of the pesto.
Yeah, so you have a nice sort of creamy sauce. And you can always add a little bit of olive oil.
Oh, this smells amazing. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to take another bowl for serving because this is our dinner tonight. I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat it all. I'm going to take. Oh, I know. I'm going to take some pasta. I'm going to come over here to our vegetables.
I love the color. Isn't that's why it's called primavera.
Oh, it's perfect for spring and for Easter. And this is really an easy thing to make.
Oh yes, if we hadn't talked that much, we'd be done by now.
Yeah. All right. Like that. Put a piece of broccoli there. I'm going to cover that up again. And then I'm going to, it's showtime, folks. Okay. And I'll put pesto over here. I have a fork already. I can't wait. Here we go. This is the best part. Gotcha. Okay. And you know how guys are. We take credit for everything. And I love my own cooking.
Excellent. Super. Well, it is your own cooking, seeing that I wasn't there to look over your shoulder more closely.
Probably a bit too much garlic. I did use 3 cloves. By the way, we will have Katya's recipe up on our YouTube channel so that you can see this for yourself. The pasta came out great. I want to taste some vegetables.
Yeah, I think you should give it a good toss, Mark, because the sauce really has to mingle with everything else. Then the garlic will also be a bit less pungent. Yeah.
I love garlic. Oh boy. Well, I can't stop eating it. I'm going to take one more bite. Mm, thank you. Oh, this is delicious. Um, we really appreciate your being here, Katya. Ooh, excuse me. Where did that come from? Oh, wow. What we're going to do is Katya has agreed to come back, and she'll be back in um, uh, early May. And we're going to be doing another noodle dish. This will be an Asian noodle dish, and I'm looking forward to cooking that with Katya then. Katya, will you come back? Well, you've already agreed to come back, so you have to come back.
I will gladly. It was
Thank you.
fun.
Good. I'm glad. Um, we're going to please give your our regards to your husband, Doug, and thanks for Doug for setting us up. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We will be back next week, same time, same station, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Carol, as always, thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.